Hello friends, welcome to Full House Flavor. Today I am going to share with you this very easy fun snacks recipe made from our Jus-Rol Puff Pastry sheet, which is easily available in the market in any superstore. You can easily find these puff pastry sheets. So let's see how to make it. The Jus-Rol pastry sheets are available in different sizes. There's some which comes as ready rolled, some comes as a block. So this one has 2 ready rolled puff pastry, this one is 1, and this comes as a block. So the first thing is I need to preheat my oven at 170 degrees centigrade, and I lined up my baking tin with a baking paper or parchment paper. Here I have my stuffing. I prepared my potato for puff pastry stuffing. If you would like to see the recipe of how to prepare potato stuffing, please take a look at my bread roll recipe. I'm just trying to not display the stuffing recipe to keep my video short. So here we have our 2 ready rolled puff pastry sheet. These comes in the fresh section as well as in the frozen sections. So if you have frozen at home or you are buying frozen, then please do defrost it well for 3 to 4 hours before you use it. As you can see, these puff pastries are so nicely rolled and it's ready to use. I would just like to show you how does block pastry looks, and this one looks like this, and you have to defrost it well, and then you can roll it and cut it or roll it according to your choice. It is much flexible to work with the block pastry, and this one just comes straight rolled. I just want my puff pastry to be a little bit thin and straight, so with the help of rolling pin I'm just giving a few roll and just making sure that my puff pastry is straight and it's rolled evenly. Now I want to make 8 puff pastry out of it, so I'm just cutting into 4 equal parts and then we'll make it into 8. This puff pastry is very easy to work with, so you can the way you want to mold it, you can mold it. It's very easy and flexible, fun way to make snacks with this. So I got my 8 rectangle pieces ready, and I'm just putting my stuffing in the center. And so you don't have to use potato stuffing. You can have a chicken stuffing, you can have keema, you can have cheese and veggies with some Italian herbs. So it is you can do way more than just puff pastry. You can try so many different stuffing for puff pastry. Now with the help of the water, we are going to just wet all the sides of puff pastry, and which will allow us and help us to mold the puff pastry and to put it in the shape. So just wet all the sides of the puff pastry with the help of water. Just dip your fingers in the water and keep and wet the sides of puff pastry. Now we are going to fold all the puff pastry and just making sure that all the sides are properly sealed, and you can press with your finger and just make sure that the stuffing is in between and all the sides are closed well. It would be very interesting to know what other kind of a stuffing do you use in the puff pastry. So if you have any other idea of using other kind of a stuffing, please do let me know. You can make these puff pastries into so many different shapes. Here I am showing you how to make a triangle shape. So if you would like to make a triangle pastry, please cut your puff pastry into square shapes and just put your stuffing and make it into triangle shape. You can use cookie cutter to shape your puff pastry. So our puff pastries are ready and sealed, and with the help of fork, I'm just pressing on the sides. This makes the puff pastry to sealed well. Also the pattern appears to look really nice once the puff pastries are ready. Now our puff pastries are ready to go into the oven. I have preheated my oven at 170 degrees. The oven temperature little bit varies, so it can be between 170 to 180 degrees centigrade. Now let's prepare another sheet in a slightly different way. I'll just get my puff pastry ready in the very similar way, and I'll cut this into 2 halves. This one I'm preparing as pinwheel. It is a very fun snacks for especially for young kids and for children. You can get your young kids or children involved in this project and let them explore the way they want to do their stuffing, or the way they want to shape the pastry. Here I'm just spreading our stuffing into a very thin layer. Now our stuffing is nicely spread, so we are just going to roll this. Roll it and just make sure towards the end we have to put the water. Just wet the puff pastry with your fingers as we did earlier, so that our puff pastries are sealed well. Just give it a couple of rolls with your hands and just make sure that our puff pastry is nicely sealed. And to make pinwheel now, we'll just cut this into equal small size, around 1 centimeter size. So now our pinwheels are also ready. We'll just transfer it into a baking tray, and it's ready to go in the oven. This, especially this pinwheel, is one of the favorites of kids. They really love it. It's because of its fun shape. The other half, I'm just going to use jam and make a pinwheel. So this is just an example of how flexible it is. You can use jam. You can also just put some cheese and some salt and pepper and some Italian herbs and just make it a pinwheel. So it's a very fun way of using these puff pastry. Once it's nicely rolled and sealed, I'm just going to cut this into 2 halves. As I have stuffed jam, it might come out from the sides once it goes in the oven. So I'll just make it into 2 pieces. And one thing to keep in mind, that these puff pastries are going to expand once it's getting baked in the oven. So you just need to make sure that we have enough space around for it to expand properly. As you can see, our puff pastries are getting baked nicely. I'm going to bake this for around 15 to 18 minutes at 170 degree temperature. Each oven differs a little bit, so around 170 degree to 180 degrees centigrade, and you should be baking around 15 to 18 minutes. The moment it turns golden brown, you can just switch off your oven. Our pastries are ready now. You can see how nice it looks. It's quite crispy and puffed, and it really cooks well from both the sides, and you don't have to flip it around in between. You just have to bake it straight away for 15 to 18 minutes. As you can see, the jam comes out a little bit because jam melts and it spills out. So that's why I did not cut the jam one into small pieces, but now I can cut the jam pastry into a small piece. I hope you like this recipe. I just wanted to show you that how many different ways you can use this Jus-Rol puff pastry or any puff pastry sheet or puff pastry block, and make a very fun snack recipe and treat your guests and friends and family in a very healthy and easy way. You can see how nice these pinwheels have turned out. It's very fun for kids because of their shape. So do try these different way of making puff pastry, and do share with us what you would like to do and what do you put for your stuffing. It's always a pleasure to hear back from our viewers. Please, if you like the content of our channel, do like and subscribe our channel, and let me know in the comments how did you find this recipe. Thank you for watching.